stay away from that house.
Yes, but you tried.
I can still see her. She knew there was nothing I could do about it. He knew it.
Don't dig it up again, dear, please.
Why didn't they go before it happened?
Please.
Why did she scream? Why did she cry?
We can shut it out of this house.
No, this isn't my house. There's no certain place for me on earth.
I should have burned that place down.
No. Let's search the ashes and find her screaming. Into the woods.
Well, why shouldn't I? They're only...
Because I've asked you not to.
We didn't find anything.
Okay, now you listen to me. If there's anything you want, I'll get it for you. But there's one thing you've got to do for me. You stay out of those woods.
What's up, everybody? This is Steve Shippey from Haunted Saginaw, as well as Haunting in the Heartland. You're with Division 3 AM on the Aftermath podcast. Keep it scary.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, boys and girls, ghosts and ghouls, this is the Aftermath podcast, and joining me today...
Woo-woo. Aftermath?
I'm Scary Gary, by the way. And joining me today is... Spooky Sammy.
I'm not joining you. I'm always here.
That's that noise.
It's not joining.
That's that noise I hear at night.
It's wait,
She's haunting your ass.
I had it. And with me today, as always, is. That sounds better.
All right. And with me today, as always, is Spooky Sammy.
That's right. What's up?
And also, with me today, hopefully not as always, because that's a lot of people in my apartment, is Aaron.
Hey guys. What camera am I looking into?
You are looking into this one right here.
The one that is looking directly at you.
Well, I thought I saw all this too. So I'm like, is there a camera looking at me there?
Nope, that's
right.
me.
That's
gotcha.
That's me.
Hi guys.
We got cameras all over
He
the
thought
place.
he was good enough to be on 2 cameras, so it's...
And also with us, and as juicy as ever, is Juicy Jeff.
I'm a little too juicy.
You were earlier.
Oh yeah, that's the juiciest right there.
That's not the right kind of juice.
That's disgusting.
And also joining us for the first time ever, a guest on our show who did this investigation with us, Luscious Liz.
Hello.
It's sticking now.
Dumb luscious.
Sorry, girl.
It's alright.
Dumb.
It's better than Leapin' or Looney.
We could call you double baptized. DBL.
DBL.
I like it.
I like that.
I like
Double
that.
baptized.
Double baptized Liz. Can't fuck with her. Demons. Don't even come at her.
She's like, I got baptized.
You
just
come
to
at her, she hit
here.
you with the 1-2 baptized bitch.
Don't fuck with me.
She not dips you once, but she dips you fucking twice.
Like, she pretty much just cries holy water.
So,
At this point.
our beer of the show today is gonna be this blueberry lemonade shandy.
Yeah, yeah, boy.
Yeah. Hey.
Picked out by our beer master.
Saugatuck.
Sorry.
Juicy picked this out,
Because it
and we
looked
will.
interesting in Kroger.
Okay, one. Gary already fucking cracked
mine's
his,
already open, but I didn't
me.
sip it yet.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Here, guys.
I did it too.
Cheers, guys.
Aaron's just slow to the party here.
Cheers.
Boo-boo-boo.
everybody. You did not
Cheers.
just drink it, you fucking ass.
Here's you guys' hands.
We're not good at this.
So that was a cheers to an awesome investigation that we just did.
It's not
That was
bad.
so much
It's
fun.
not great.
Do you want some?
I just want to point out,
Some?
this beer is actually smiling. Something we all weren't doing today.
No.
It has been awful.
It has
today.
been a fucking hell of a day.
It's a full moon out there, guys.
Demons.
So tell me why, whenever
Okay,
it's
demons.
a full moon,
Demons.
the three of us always have bad fucking days.
Yes, sorry, we do.
Maybe you guys should work on your energy.
No, we just are
Align those chakras.
connected. Okay, we're connected.
The moon needs to work on his energy.
Yeah, the moon needs to fix itself.
Even fish pay attention
The
to the
moon
moon.
is cyclical. Don't blame the moon.
Every time the moon pants.
The moon is sick for
It's on its
fucking having to
period.
have this
Sound.
day. That's what it is.
So we are back from Wilder, Kentucky. We went to the famous Bobby Mackey's Music World, and we did an overnight investigation. So we're here now to talk about all the things we found there, our experiences there. And before we get to that, I guess we'll just talk a little bit about ourselves as usual. It's been a while. We haven't been around since New York, and that was in October. So now we're back, and it's going into April. We're going to talk about Bobby Mackey's at the end of the show. We'll talk about where we're going next, because we already have another case lined up. And the timeline for this one has been really short. We literally were at Bobby Mackey's last weekend.
Yeah.
And we're already doing a show because we have to have this out in time to do the next investigation.
We're gonna start pumping them out quicker and quicker, guys. Be ready.
It's kind of like babies.
Once you pop, you can't stop. You know what I mean?
I haven't popped yet, so I mean, I guess
How they just can't hold up their
Talk
heads
about
when they're
chips.
first born and they're all like,
Is that exactly how they look? Is
That's
how
how
they
I
look.
sound getting out of bed. So like,
Yeah.
I
But
just wanna do
that's,
this.
but that's my knees. That's not even me. That's actually my knees making that noise.
it's my head.
That's for sure.
So, we all went to this Bobby Mackey's thing, like a bit apprehensive, just in case, there's some demonic activity. There were exorcisms and stuff performed there. And I think we've all were struck by the oncoming demon bad luck. I don't know if Jeff was, I don't know if he had
No.
bad luck beforehand, but he's definitely having it after.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
I had bad luck beforehand. My car transmission went out, and then my dad's car went out. Both of my brother's cars went out, and in the same day, all of our cars were in the shop. I was just having horrible times at work. Liz and me were just like going at each other's throats constantly. It was for stupid crap. Like nothing made sense. Like everything just seemed to be off. And then on the trip, we had bad luck on the way there. We had bad luck while we were there. It was just a lot of shit.
It was an interesting trip.
We had bad luck after that.
Yeah, and,
And
definitely.
it's still here.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot something really special. I had to go back and get it. It pissed everybody off. Like, whatever.
It was trying not to let us leave. It was like, come back.
I'm not done with you.
I'm waiting for you here on floor 11.
The cursed floor.
The bar's on floor 12. You should have went there first.
Should have.
There was a
I know,
bar
I
on floor
We
didn't-
12.
We should have. We said we were going.
We
We
could have
didn't
made
do
this
it.
all better.
You could
We
have
just
been
didn't
drunk
go
and
have
been like...
spirits.
Yeah. We just,
So-
On floor 12.
One of the things that happened was, as we were leaving the next day, we were on our way back to Bobby Mackey's to do some extra photos and extra video, and our hotel had a hostage situation, which was pretty wild. We're looking outside as they're starting to block off the streets, and we're like, oh, they're getting raided. We're getting raided up in here.
SWAT team.
Then we get
Oh,
out there, there's SWAT teams everywhere. The cops are like, come back in a year, and there might be a ghost here for you to hunt. And Aaron's like,
There's a dead body.
Aaron's always the one to like engage in.
I didn't care. I was like, you guys got a dead body because we could be like fresh ghost hunters like right now.
yeah, he's like,
the spirit hasn't even left the building. Like, just tell me what floor you're on. Like, we're gonna go to that floor. We're just gonna.
Like I know you guys have a crime scene to put together, but just real quick, let us just like.
Like, let me just get it. Let me
Like
just get it.
photos, EVPs.
Like we going in.
yeah, Aaron's literally like, was there a dead body?
cop
And
was
the cop's
like,
like,
no, he ain't.
not yet.
Maybe.
Not yet, no. Come back in a year. But yeah, that situation escalated. We got out of there just as it was going on. And we come to find out, unfortunately, some man was holding a 2-year-old hostage and caused some serious injuries to the kid. and they were able to apprehend the guy and get the kid to the hospital. I don't know any follow-up updates on any of that, or like how the kid's doing. They usually don't continue to update that stuff in the news since it is a minor.
But if you guys want any more information on it, you could just Google Cincinnati SWAT.
Because
like
we
6
link
or
the
7
article.
cases will pop up.
Westgate, you know?
Queensgate Hotel.
Queensgate.
SWAT raid.
Which is very
Trust
strange
me.
because we would have never even ended up there hadn't Sam's reservation randomly get switched to Tennessee.
yeah, we weren't supposed to be there.
We were like an hour into our drive, and she's like, "Yeah, so they're booked us at Tennessee."
So I had to like.
So we had to like
switch
quickly
order
find
real quick.
another hotel,
Yeah.
and we ended up there.
So that was the start of the bad luck.
But then when we got there,
hotel switch.
the hotel, like, I just had bad luck with my money. Like, they charged my card $500. No fucking idea why. I got it all back eventually, but it only was supposed to be like $180, and they literally charged me $500. Took it out of my account.
So if you want a scary experience without Ghost, go stay at the Queensgate Hotel in
Or just
Cincinnati.
hang out with
But
us.
Quality-
Some crazy
the quality
shit will
and-
happen.
Quality and but
Quality in
Quality.
Queensgate.
across the
It
street
was,
from the 24-hour White Castle.
Interesting.
It was
SWAT raids within a week's time frame.
yeah, literally 2 days before we got there was a SWAT raid, and we didn't even know about it until this one came up. We're like, oh, let's look that up. Oh, there was one 2 days ago as well.
Like, why are we here?
I should have checked my Facebook events for SWAT team.
It was wild driving out too, looking to our right, and there was
Weekly.
a fucking mobile command unit. There was a SWAT
yeah.
van. There was a ambulance across the street, and like 15 cop cars when we left.
We'll just throw some footage up here. Right there.
Holy shit, dude.
Fuck, that's a lot.
In
a quarter mile, turn right onto West 5th Street, Utica Street.
Does anybody like?
Turn right onto West 8th Street.
I can't. How is she gonna turn the whole fucking road blocked? Dude, I'll just turn around somewhere up here.
And that's what it looked like when we were leaving.
Yeah.
As we were getting ready to leave, there was cop cars pulling up.
Yeah, we actually have footage of that
Secret
filming from the window.
Services.
Gary was filming from the window of our hotel room.
Yeah, I
We're
was
like,
watching
we might want
strap
to check
again
out
to
a
his
little
leg.
faster.
It's like that's not as exciting as when we were driving through the police barricade of the fucking building.
And the best,
Liz is like, just slipping on
the
through.
best part is
A little
the
anxious.
cops in the lobby, and they're like, "Where you guys from?" We're like, "Oh, Toledo. We just ghost hunted at Bobby Mackey's." Just like, "Oh yeah, cool, ghost hunted at Bobby." They're in the middle of doing a fucking hostage situation, and they're conversing with us about ghost hunting. Like, do they
chilling in
still
the
have
lobby.
the bowl there?
Right.
Just like nonchalant, like they do this all the time. Like
We know this guy.
Queensgate.
this is what I signed on to do, and this is what I do every fucking day.
Cincinnati.
And then we had the bum, the homeless man, who was trying to give us money so he could be right with the gods. Like, he literally came up with a fist and
Crunchy
$3
$3
coming out of the knuckles. He's like, "Take this so I can be right with the gods." And I just looked at him and went, and he was like,
And didn't you see him like actually give money to the next car?
yeah, he gave money to the car
He
before
got
us, too.
pissed. He got so mad that we told him no, we wouldn't take his money.
Like he
So
really
mad.
did.
He
Like, why are you
literally
so
clenched
angry?
that fist to his chest and looked to the sky and went,
Why won't they take my money?
"Just $3.
Oh man.
That has to be a first for me though. I've never been offered money by him.
By a homeless man, yeah.
Never.
Never. Only in Cincinnati.
And then driving back to the hotel, I'm pretty sure we saw the onsets of probably a very bad situation that was going to unfold.
Oh,
with
yeah,
those
the
two
car
cars that were
chase.
chasing
Probably a
each other.
drive-by shooting at some point.
Like they were like chasing each other, and then when we got back, I'm pretty sure one of two things either happened: either a body got dumped, or a drug deal went down, and like the guy was just like sped out of there super quick when we pulled in. Like, oh,
Definitely a car chase, though.
yeah.
And then, as we are finally getting the hell out of Helltown City, we're all the way through this traffic and we're home free, and Sam remembers she forgot something at the hotel, so we have to go back. So the city is
Like we
pulling
can't
us
fucking
back
leave,
in.
dude.
And because we went back,
Back to Queensgate, dude.
Liz is like, "Let's go get some macaroons."
Yeah.
So we go to get macaroons, and then
This bitch.
Sorry.
then
This
nuns come.
bitch. We fucking. She's like, oh yeah, the parking lot's right over here. What fucking walk? What are we parking?
Oh,
next
it's just
to?
a fucking goddamn nunnery!
A fucking convent.
8 nuns.
Like they fucking the nuns were
Like
like
they
coming
make
out.
the
and I'm like,
macaroons,
oh,
darling. I didn't know.
Fuck
We
that.
and we had
really
Love
did
come
it.
out, and Sam was like, "Okay, no. We're like, okay, don't worry, there won't be any more. So we walk around the corner and we walk past the front of the church, and you look down the right-hand side once we pass the church, and there's like 7 of them that just came out from the back, started walking forward.
Fucker! Like they knew. They're like, oh, she stepped in the butt, and we gotta go. We gotta fucking.
Crazy thing is, like, I saw the nuns, and there was like a penguin in between them, just waddling back and forth with them. He's like,
Fit right in.
A dream I had before the trip had nuns in it. It was 8 nuns in a line, and they stopped me.
I forgot you told me about that.
It was a weird ass dream.
And they offered you a macaroon?
No, they stopped me. They said, "Follow me on Instagram. Give me money." I was
that's
like,
right.
"Yeah, get away from me."
I'm gonna use my money to buy macaroons, and I'm not gonna follow you on Instagram. How about you go?
Speaking of the macaroons, we didn't even get to eat them.
Well, so we get home, right?
There's a dog dressed like a nun.
He kind of looks like one.
I know.
But we didn't even...
Ironically.
We had to run to... I don't forget. We had to run to the store or something. We had to go get him dog food. We went to the fucking store to get him dog food. I even bought him, like, some fucking, like, special, like, beef straps. Like, pieces of beef just, like, for him. Like, I'm like, oh, he's gonna love it. I've been gone. I'm gonna treat him. Motherfucker, I came home. He ate my macaroon.
Because he's probably like, bitch, feed me again.
All of them.
He opened the box?
Box on the floor.
He fucking opened it. He
How?
fucking
He's
what?
smart.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
He's like,
Sorry.
And he's full of fucking macaroons now, bitch. I was like,
That was the wildness of our trip there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, well, I get back and I'm like, oh, it's all over. And then I have jury duty. And then shit's going down at my job. It was just like stress as soon as I got back. And I'm like, dude, it's still going. And ironically, I had taken off the necklace I had bought for protection like a few days later. And as soon as I took it off, like, I just felt sick all day. My stomach was hurting. Felt like I was getting stabbed in the stomach. Felt like something was just waiting, like, take it off. Go on, take it off. Oh, you took it off. Oh, you're fucking done, boy.
coming for that
You're gonna have to go get exercised at Bobby Mackey's. We got a new special discount for you. You ain't leaving. You never see them, but you always hear them in the background of the show. But we didn't put them away this time. This is Kobayashi.
I didn't put him back on the
She
shelf.
knows there's a lot of people in here, so she wants to be around all of us. So she'll probably pop up in everyone's video at some point.
It's a wonder
She
Hopefully
works
not
away
a-
evil spirits, demon slayer.
It's like, yeah, I'm in here. You guys are talking about them, so they know you're here. I'm just gonna come and protect you.
Did you say macaroons? Hello.
macaroons.
I'm here,
Come
ready
back
to
at my
be
pizza
done.
combo.
And ghouls, you're tuned in to the Aftermath podcast.
So, we're gonna talk about, like, our experiences at Bobby Mackey's, the feelings, the things that have happened there before we jump into our evidence review and the things we found afterwards. So, what were your guys' like initial feelings upon entering Bobby Mackey's?
It smelled really bad. It was really dingy.
It is a dirty place.
Yeah.
And the mirrors, when you walk through the hallway, are facing each other. So
Exactly.
portals right
Yeah.
off the bat. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god, no.
It smelled very, very old.
Yeah.
But the building
It's very old.
reflected that.
It's like a bowling alley.
How it's still open, I have no idea. I appreciate
One
it.
phrase I can say sums up at least my visit, and I think you guys will probably agree, is that after going to Bobby Mackey's and having this be like one of the big paranormal hotspots you've heard about your whole life, that you've seen all these documentaries on, the quote that came to mind after I'd been there was, "Never meet your heroes."
Yes.
Because they aren't like what you
Yes.
think they are.
Because me and Jeff even said that, like, we were talking to each other and we are just like, that was disappointing. Like, even though, like, a few things happened there and there, we did catch some good stuff, but it was just, overall, the feeling was just very disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought it would be a little bit more overwhelming and I would feel a little bit more...
Well, I think part of that was that it was
At
a
one
short
point, though.
investigation. We didn't have like 13 hours to
Right. Everything was so compact
investigate.
that
We had to compact
it
it
was a
down.
rushed investigation. We didn't. There was equipment we had. We didn't even get to use because we're trying to hurry up and investigate
Right.
as much as we could.
And then everything that we planned out we didn't even follow the plan. That
It just fell apart.
We just kind of did what we wanted, whatever we needed to do.
But then
we tried to just fit as much as we had to wing it pretty much at that point.
And that's going forward to other ghost hunters that go out and they do investigations. In my personal opinion, and I don't know if the rest of the group feels this way, but honestly, what we paid for Bobby Mackey's going into it, we thought we were going to get a lot more. I wouldn't pay that for that much time. I think it should be a little bit longer because, I think it should be at least, if you're going to do it overnight, it has to be at least 6 hours.
Plus, they give you a tour, and that takes a chunk out of the time you paid for.
Yeah,
about an hour.
Yeah, we shouldn't have had...
And then you have to set up and unpack your equipment and figure out where you're putting everything. So you got another 30, 45 minutes of setting up, and then you can start investigating. So literally...
Cut you down to 3-4 hours.
Yeah, we literally did not have a lot of investigation time there.
I appreciated the tour guide.
The tour was
she
great.
gave us a lot of honest info.
Shout out to Janice.
Yes, it was a great tour.
Nice.
Thank
She
you.
was very sweet. Yes.
She was very knowledgeable.
But in the future, if...
And she debunked a couple of things
Yes.
that we
she
had questions
right
about
off the
before
bat.
we got there.
Yep, she just came right out and told us some of the claims that are out there that are popular claims, like the whole Pearl Bryan thing, how they really don't tie into the place, and this is just false promotions for the place.
Yeah, and then she also clarified some things at the end there, she didn't really give away a certain bit of information, and we'll talk about that later, but...
Yeah, just in case we experienced it and we said something, then she can be like, well, that's one of the claims here. She didn't preload us on stuff.
Yes, she didn't. But at the end, she did say something, and Liz can attest to that. She did say a certain thing, and we'll let Liz go over that. But at the end of the thing, and right before she came back in to, let us out, Liz even said that she saw this. And we had no idea going into it. So... we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yep, so, what we're saying, the roof was, caving in one area.
You can hear drip.
Siding
in
was...
one area, wait.
At least
I
in that
counted
area,
about 5.
There were leak spots. Siding was just hanging off the place, just scratching up against the wall. And we're, at first, we didn't know that because we're inside, so we're hearing scratching.
It was raining
in
while
the
we were
area of the exorcism. So hearing scratching in an area of an exorcism, you're like, you're scratching. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then we see the next day while we're doing our photos and stuff that there's siding hanging off in that exact location, just swinging back and forth, scraping against the wall. There's even water dripping in the walls. And my favorite feature of Bobby Mackey's is they built the foundation around trees. And they used those trees for support beams. They just nailed 2x4s to trees. Actual trees.
That just shows how old the place is, you know?
100%.
I honestly think my favorite feature of Bobby Mackey's has to be the fact that they knowingly know they have raccoons. And they don't care. They'll be like, oh yeah, you'll probably see some critters. There's that's
a trap.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to record anything, there's going to be a wide open door crack. That's all in the car. Sounds.
Whatever.
There's a couple
the
holes
doors.
the raccoons and the critters can get in. God knows what the fuck lives here.
But honestly, though, guys,
But
we're
this
not
is
gonna go to
how
places that are good.
But this is how country this place is. They literally
It's
were
Wilder, Kentucky. What did you want?
It's real wild.
Did anybody actually hear her say this? She was like, "Oh well, I was just gonna put some bear traps in those animal traps and just see if I can catch them."
Don't go behind the
You were
barn.
gonna put bear traps in a fucking animal trap to catch a goddamn raccoon.
Live traps weren't working.
Live traps were. She's like, I was just gonna slap a bear trap in there,
She's
but that didn't
even
have any food in there.
If you lean over the bar, you can see the trap right back there. Oh yeah, there it is, right there.
Right next to the Jaeger.
That's the best spot for it.
But if you guys are getting your hopes up about if we caught any raccoon evidence, we did not.
We didn't catch no
I think they
raccoons.
left for the night.
Little raccoons.
Then they're talking about how they got
Their shirt says "Party with
broken
Ghosts."
into.
They should say "Party with Raccoons." What do you mean?
I said, if I can catch it, can I keep it? She said yes. I tried to. I couldn't find it. Could not find
They
it.
talked about somebody broke into Bobby Mackey's not too long ago.
To
And
the
they're
basement.
yeah, they broke into the basement. But when you get to the basement, you realize how the fuck they broke in. It's this plywood door with a regular padlock on it. Like, you could literally punch that door and you're in Bobby Mackey's.
You could unscrew it from the outside.
Honestly,
Literally, it's just screwed in from the outside. Like, there was no safety
honestly,
there.
there's some like cracks you could probably squeeze in through. We are not condoning any
Yeah,
sort
do
of
not break in. This is
break-in,
private
don't break
property,
in.
and like they're very good, respectable people. We're just talking about, you know, this is an old place. This has been around for a long time.
Just know-
and it's showing its age.
Just know that they are from Kentucky, and they will fucking shoot you.
They don't call 911.
They don't call 911. They fire first.
It's
and then call the
wilder.
cops
It's
later.
like West Virginia up in
Yep.
here.
And Bobby Mackey
Down
will
there
kick
in
in the
the
door,
south.
and he's like, "It's time to get wilder up in here."
We're going.
Who's
Around
the
here,
next
we don't
to
call
step out of
911.
So that was our experiences with the building itself. Now, paranormal experiences, they started pretty much right away.
Like
Right
the
away.
yeah.
And Sam had the first experience.
I did. I saw a unmistakable little white ball of light. Like it, I literally lifted my legs to think that I would step over it because I thought I was going to trip over something. That's how solid this white mass was that was on the floor. It wasn't very tall. It was maybe like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 inches tall. But it was like big, and I literally stood back and was like, "Whoa!"
She
And I
lifted jumped.
lifted my
She
leg.
had
Lifted
one of
up
those
her
old
leg.
skip it toys
Yeah.
on her ankle.
Yeah, I did. Because I felt, I saw it so solidly that it gave me the feeling that I was walking into something. Like, and then I was like, okay, I see you. All right. That's a nice welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
About the same thing happened to me as we were leaving, like
Yes.
packing up.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, same spot. And we'll get into that a little bit
We'll get in a little bit later because
Little bit
this is
later.
something that the tour guide actually was like, well, if you experience something in this spot, let me know and we'll talk about it later. And then when she let us know, you know, it tied into some experiences that we did have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll get into that. But the shadow figures, consistent,
Constant.
So
constant.
I saw them pretty much near the bar the entire time.
I don't know where she is.
Out of the corner of my eye, never directly. But even just as we were getting the tour, as she was talking, I was just like, "Oh, what was that?" You know, I thought somebody was here with her. Like kid came back in from the previous tour, and then like a few minutes later, Jeff's like, "Oh, yep,
Yeah.
there it is again."
I saw 3 within the first 15 minutes of being in the building, like just going past the bar, and it wasn't us because we were all together in one spot. There wasn't anybody else there because the other team, the crew who did a tour before us was gone. We made sure they left before we got in there, and the doors were locked behind us while we were doing our tour.
All right, pause. Come in real quick. I want you guys to follow me here for a moment. Jeff saw something.
Yeah,
Jeff saw something.
I saw something.
Yeah.
it's the only time.
But no.
However, I did debunk the feeling I had in the basement the last time we were there because
Yeah.
there was no heat. It wasn't hot this time,
Okay.
and I had none of the feelings I
Last
had
time, yeah.
last time when I was in the basement.
Last time we went, it was about 100 degrees during the day, and it was about 120 in the basement when we went. So.
We didn't spend a whole lot of time in the basement though.
No, we didn't.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think that was subconscious.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all subconsciously felt something that we just didn't want to go down there. Because I know when me, Liz, and Aaron, I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like somebody was there at the door the
Yeah.
whole entire time.
Yeah.
And then when we heard what we heard, and we'll talk about that later.
We got the
And
fuck out.
we got the fuck out. Like,
and we're not like easily scared. Like,
yeah.
She's gonna
Because
so we're like,
Oh.
no, we're out.
Because it came...
Crackhead or ghost?
Exactly.
Or paranormal.
Or ghost.
Stay tuned for that.
It could
No,
have
we
been
got
I mean, on
both.
the audio talking about the same thing.
Sorry.
Like,
Trying to
when
get
we
this
were in
fork
the
away
room of
from her. She's
faces,
chewing it.
you hear me on one of the audios
Yeah.
literally talk about feeling like I'm being watched
Yep.
from the doorway.
I heard that. And there was a point where they went into the room of faces while I was in Johanna's dressing room and I was getting like shots for the trailer and everything. And all of a sudden it just goes quiet. And I thought I heard the door close. And I'm like, oh shit, they fucking left me down here. And I'm immediately panicking, like, I'm staying down here by my goddamn self. And I start leaving and I stop and I go, did they go up? I thought we were investigating down here. And I hear footsteps upstairs above me, right at the door to leave the basement. And I was like, oh, they did go upstairs. So I shut the door, but then I did a double take, opened it back up, and I yelled, hey, you guys still down here? and nobody answered, and I hear the footsteps again. I'm like, oh, they're upstairs. So I go back up into the bar, and they're not there. They're actually still in the basement, and I heard footsteps up there.
We were all listening,
never heard
too.
them.
Yeah, we never heard you call for us.
We actually called for you, too.
And even if we didn't hear you call for us because we had the SP7 on, you would have heard the SP7.
I didn't even hear that.
Exactly.
It was dead silent,
Like,
as
easy.
if they were not down there. Like, it was like...
And it's weird how that basement, like, has sound, though, because when we heard something shuffling downstairs and heard the door open, it felt like it was right there, didn't it?
It did.
Like, it
Yeah.
felt like the footsteps were right next to you, but the door was a good 300 feet away.
Yeah.
Or more.
Like, and in the security footage, when you guys were in there, like, I even see you guys all pause, and then Erin gets up and she's like, hello?
Yeah,
I know.
She
Hello?
goes.
I was like,
She
Yeah,
actually goes out
like
there
turns
and
on
stands.
flashlight, takes
'Cause I was-
pictures.
You can
I was like,
hear
I'm
it,
getting the fuck out of here.
but
if
the
it's a crackhead.
audio, the camera in the security footage is so low, like, playing on the show, no one's going to be able to
Which
hear it. But you
I
can actually faintly hear those steps coming. And then you see Erin get up like, hello? And then they tried to continue investigating, and they're like, I ain't trying to get up murdered up in here in Bobby Mackey basement.
Oh, we
Yeah,
really
no
thought
shit.
it was a Kraken.
So, I had an actual like strange experience. I haven't. I didn't really share with you guys, and I found it during my evidence review because I could have swear to God, and you guys could attest to this. I turned on that recorder, that camcorder. I turned it on. It was
Yeah.
on for 20 seconds and it shut off.
Wow.
It was no longer recording when we
Was
were
that
down
the
there.
same one we took to the face room, though?
Yes.
Didn't that turn off, though?
It was still on when I picked it up to go back upstairs when we were like, oh, we're gonna go upstairs. It was still running, but it wasn't recording.
Wow.
And when I looked through the footage, there was literally 20 seconds of us sitting down, getting like whatever, and we started asking the first couple questions, and all of a sudden it was just like, nope.
Good thing we had that other camera going.
So we saw a lot of shadow figures and stuff in the building. I had an experience with some sort of, I guess, shadow figure something, and with what we're talking about with what Liz saw, it could tie into that. I'm not really sure what the hell I saw because I've never seen anything like it. It only reminded me of one other thing, but we were sitting, me and Jeff, alone in Bobby Mackey's green room, and this like black blob like slides across the floor and stops in the doorway. And now we're sitting in the dark and my eyes are still adjusting to the dark. So I'm thinking my eyes played tricks on me. I closed my eyes, shook my head, and figured when I opened my eyes it'd be gone. But when I opened my eyes, it's still sitting there and it's like moving like this blobby gelatin thing. And I immediately start backing into the chair or the couch that I'm sitting on, and I'm like, dude. And as I'm doing that, Jeff's like, what? And it just evaporates. Like, it just does this dissolve fade and goes away. And it made no sound. It just rolled into the doorway, blobbed around for a moment, and then faded away once I freaked out. So, I've never seen anything quite like that, but what it reminded me of is, like, if you've heard us talk about being in Waverly Sanatorium, and we saw this shadow thing, this ball, shoot over our heads and down into the cement, it didn't make a sound. And that's what that felt like. You see this thing there, you would expect it to make some sort of sound, and there's nothing but silence, but you're seeing this thing, and then it's gone. So it freaked me out for a second, like I had to recollect myself, but I thought about that the entire rest of the time I was there, because I kept looking at the ground everywhere I walked, like I'm going to see that damn thing again. I never did. But it ties in, because Liz saw something. What did you see, Liz?
As we were packing up, I don't know. It was so strange. I was just looking around, like, making sure I had everything, and then right by my feet, I see this thing walking towards me. Can I say what it was? At this point, it was a cat. I think it appeared to be white to me. Could have been gray. I don't know. But it was definitely a cat coming towards me. I was like, whoa! Like, basically the same reaction that you had when we first got there. And there's definitely a ghost cat there. We got EVPs of the cat meowing. We both saw, we probably all saw the cat. And, yeah, I can't deny it. It was a fucking cat.
Yeah.
And that's why I think maybe what I saw tied into it, because it was something low to the ground and just came and sat in the doorway like a cat would do. Like, it's like, hey, what are you guys doing in here?
Sit there, but don't touch me. Don't come near me. But just checking on you guys.
And then it's like, oh shit, and then it just sprinted away when I freaked out. It was like, this dude's freaking out. So, and Sam, when she saw her ball of light at the very beginning, it was in the same spot that Liz saw the cat.
Yep, right by the pool table.
Maybe she saw a ball of light that was actually the cat.
So
well, and then Janice actually told us later on that they do have a ghost cat.
Yep.
So it just kind of confirmed what we didn't know.
We did not know about it, and she told us at the end of the investigation that there is a ghost cat. And we hadn't even brought up that we saw anything. We didn't say anything until after she told us there was a ghost cat, and was like, I saw a cat.
And she gave direction for me, since I was wearing shorts at the time, that in the basement in the room of faces to sit on this specific bench, because people report things sitting on that bench. So she told me, go ahead and sit there and let me know at the end like what you experienced, and then I'll let you know why I told you to do that. And that was exactly what it was. She brought up the ghost cat after we were done, because apparently people who sit there, especially in the summer when they're wearing shorts and stuff, feel like something rub up against their leg while they're sitting there, and that's their ghost cat. So the two girls actually saw it upstairs this time.
And when you were sitting there, did you feel anything?
I didn't. I mean, the hair on my legs stood up at one point, but I also felt like I was getting watched from the doorway, so that could have been a reaction to that.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually feel any kind of, like, cat rub on my legs while I was sitting on the bench.
I do remember, like, watching the footage of you while we were in that room, and, like, you do move your legs around a lot, and I was like, I wonder if he's, like, sensing something. But maybe you just didn't feel it. Like,
maybe subconsciously?
Yeah.
Possible.
But you didn't even know what we were, like,
Yeah,
looking for
none of
at
us
that
did.
point.
Because she wouldn't tell us. She just said, I want you to sit downstairs because you're wearing the shorts. So.
Sam and I saw the ghost cat in the gift shop, which is right above the room where the bench where you're sitting on.
Yeah.
In the face room. So the ghost cat, I mean,
Yeah.
could have just...
And then I was also thinking, like, in retrospect, if the cat is to be found down there, isn't that kind of ironic because that's where kids play?
Yeah.
And kids like to play with animals and stuff like that. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And, like, the gift shop, everyone goes in there, and cats are really curious and friendly, so...
So that's kind of cool.
So, yeah, and plus, the spot that we saw the cat upstairs was in the gift shop right next to the pool table, which is right above the room in the basement that she said the cat was seen and that she told Jeff to sit there. So it ties in, like, maybe, you know, this cat can be downstairs or upstairs. And my evidence review, which is not fully complete, I do have to still finish some of the security footage. That's about it. But on my audio, I do have several meows, and my favorite one is the one that almost seems irritated for not paying attention to it. It's like...
Look down at your cat, she's looking up at you like, what the fuck was that?
What'd you just say to me?
Clean her out.
Right.
We also heard a dog bark, which I believe to be my dog protecting me from whatever said my name. Because it goes, Liz, and then, bro. And then the lady says, help us. And I'm like, oh, it gives me chills every time.
So then we move across a little bit from these points, and we're going to arrive now at the point where you guys may have been there with us. We were live at this point, and we were doing a Phasma box session in front of the Bobby Mackey stage. And at this time, we're talking about, I had taken a cue ball because as we were given the tour, she told us about this lady that would put a cue ball in the middle of the table, on the pool table in the creepy corner. And she wanted the spirits to push the ball into the hole. And it only happened once that she knows of. Well, Sam had noticed that two of the pool racks were stacked up in the middle of one of the tables, leaning against each other. And I didn't know if it had been like that all night or if it happened later. So she took me over there to see it, and Sam saw something. And you saw the reaction on the live of Jeff getting up to run to go help Sam, Liz looking confused on if she should even go, and walking in a complete circle.
I felt like I shouldn't go over because like something told me that I was like I'm not needed over there. I shouldn't be over there. I was very concerned for you, but I was like, I should just probably stay here.
You could see it if you go to live. She like does a full like 360 degree
I get up
turn,
to
and
go.
she has a very
you do. Yeah,
weird
you're like, "Whoop,
look on
I'm
her
gonna
face.
go."
She's
No,
like,
I'm
I don't know if I can go.
Like Jeff was called, not me, but like
I think the thoughts that was going through her head was she called for Jeff. Aaron didn't get up. I probably shouldn't go because if Aaron didn't get up and go back there, then it's probably.
She's like, I better stay here. I don't want to leave Aaron alone, and I don't want to be alone.
It's like I don't want to be alone over here. It's
So,
creepy.
what did you see, Sam?
I'm not gonna exactly tell you what the situation is. People who are close to me and who know me, you guys know what it is. Basically, I just saw someone that I know should not be around anymore. Backwards, upside down with his mouth open. And it was clear as hell. I've seen him in my dreams many times, and he just shouldn't have been there. So I could 100% feel like that was maybe someone fucking with my head, because he's so vivid in my head. So for them to pull that out and use it against me, it would be super simple for them.
And that's what would happen in a demonic location. They can play on your deepest fears and bring them to reality for you.
I never asked you, how did you sleep like after that?
Pretty well. I mean, I didn't have. It's probably because I had a lot of protection around me, and I had these two like in the same room with me, which probably helped me a lot.
Yeah,
and scared them away with their snoring.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
They're like, oh, there's already some demons in there.
But yeah,
they're better than I am.
I slept pretty well. I just think that was 100% a manipulation thing. Like, they were just like, oh, this is the thing you fear the most, and I'm going to use it against you. So it just caught me off guard. And it's kind of embarrassing watching the footage of, like, me dropping to the ground and, like, freaking out the way I did, but...
Scary.
And I did throw Gary in front of me as a precautionary measure that if he was actually there and coming at me, he was going to get Gary before he got me. So
you can see that footage right now.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you. But yeah, I'm not going to go into details because it's personal, and the people that are closest to me know about it, and that's all that matters. But they know what I was going through, and they were all there for me, so I appreciate it, guys.
And if you're watching the live, you can definitely tell it became a very serious situation at that point. I mean, I even talked and said, there's a situation going on, and we're going to keep going and try to carry on while this is being resolved. And we tried to carry on with the live for a little bit until everything was calmed. Mm-hmm. But, it definitely brought a serious tone to the investigation at that point. And this was honestly near the end of the investigation. Mm-hmm. We weren't there much longer after that live.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me. So vivid and right in front of my face. So, if you do go to Bobby Mackey's, just know that be clear of mind, because they will use it against you. So, take that with a grain of salt.
Charlie will come get you.
He will come and get you. He will come and get you.
So, those are pretty much, I think that was pretty much every experience type of thing we had in the building while we were there. So, I guess it's time we jump over to the evidence portion of everything.
Well,
and
there was one more thing.
And there's one more thing.
That in the basement, we didn't actually go over, what. So, when we were all sitting in Johanna's dressing room, we were just doing, a little, because I wanted all the girls to be down there, because I thought maybe, being all females and no males around, maybe it would be oh, it's a safe zone. So, we did, and we sat down there, and about, what would you say, 10 minutes, maybe? Into us sitting down there, we heard the basement door, which is pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
Open, close, and then you just hear
shuffling
across the fucking floor.
Yeah, heavy footsteps, very loud.
Very quickly.
My immediate thought was the guys were back down here.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, what the hell? Like, they knew we were doing our own thing. Like, what are you down here? Like, go find somewhere else to go.
Yeah, we're even getting texts at that time, like, you guys down here, quit moving around.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to her about this today. I'm like, we weren't moving. We were sitting completely still. The only time you heard me move when I was getting up to walk to my phone to answer your text. And you even hear Jeff in the audio at one point go, if they text again, just ignore it. We're trying to do our own thing.
But yeah, so then, you know, we started thinking like, oh crap, you know, they just got done saying somebody broke in down here.
Yeah.
And all us girls are down there by ourselves. The guys have no idea if anything were to happen. So then we're like, well, what if it's like a person?
Yeah.
There was rappers down there, like Dorito
Yeah.
Bag.
Yeah, like people have been hanging out
I
down
thought
there.
you were going to say, like, Dr. Dre or something was down there. It's like,
So,
whoa.
Everyone
of
was hanging out
course,
in that basement.
my dumbass is like, get your camera out and be like, hello. And so I did. And obviously there was nothing replied. But we were like, we're getting the fuck out of here because there were so many areas that somebody could have hid or like ducked out. So we're like, we're going to go back upstairs. And then we ended up talking to Janice, and she's like, no, I've been watching the door all night. Nobody came and went. But we knew that door opened.
We
And
also
she was
had a
on top
recorder
of it.
going when we were over in the exorcism area, and you hear the door open when the girls come upstairs. You do not hear it happen again before that.
Which was
there-
so
We can
weird.
all
the door
confirm
never
that we
opened.
heard
Yeah.
that,
We would have
though.
heard it
Yeah.
on our recording.
Yeah.
And then later, like before we were leaving, we were talking to Janice, and we told her about like one of the experience that all the girls had downstairs, and she just looks at us like straight face, and she just goes, "Oh yeah, that's the shuffler. He lives in the basement."
So again, she just confirmed something that she didn't put in our minds, but we experienced it, and then she confirmed it.
That's what I mean. She was really good at not preloading us. So experiences we had were confirmed by her without telling us in advance. She did not tell us anything before we investigated. If we mentioned something, she would tell us afterwards, or she'd even tell us before we mentioned it. So it just gave more confirmation to what we experienced.
You're with Division 3 on the Aftermath. It's a spooky, dooky
We're going to go over all of the things we have now, but you might not, and probably won't, see everything we're going over right now on the show. We're just going to cut out the best parts and leave them in. And if you want to see everything we caught, you're going to go head over to that website and check it out, because it's going to be on there under Wilder, Kentucky, Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Okay.
Music World.
The honky tonk.
Honky tonk.
You got to go get up in the basement of that honky tonk.
Get all inside that shit.
Hi, I'm Scary Gary. You probably just watched us, like, at a different part of the show, and we were all wearing different clothes. We probably looked a little bit younger, a little bit more full of life. And then shit happened. We went to Bobby Mackey's, and shit happened to our equipment. For some reason, some audio recorders just corrupted and erased everything. And then while editing our show, the hard drive burned up. Like, literally, it fucking burned up. There's just a big ass burn mark on there. We tried to fix it. I paid money. It didn't work. So, a lot of weird experiences with our Bobby Mackey's evidence. So instead of boring ourselves to death and just sitting here going through all of this evidence again, we're not going to. We're gonna let you do it. So here's all the evidence, guys. Everything we caught at Bobby Mackey's. We do have one tale to go over, though.
Oh no.
Something happened to Sam at Bobby Mackey's.
I don't like it.
So that's the story behind it. You already watched us talking about Bobby Mackey's. We're just not going to go over all the evidence right now. We're just going to let you go over it. So, as usual, EVPs first, videos second. And here it is. There's all our Bobby Mackey's evidence. Hopefully my hard drive doesn't burn.
We're banking on that.
Yeah.
Come on. You're making a little bit of noise. Now we're asking you to do it and you stop.
Tell me about the exorcism that happened here. I heard that.
We know it's Carl's exorcism.
Is there really a portal to hell in the well?
Is there somebody messing with this?
Like, why do you keep doing this? Like, is there a problem?
What happened to him? Hello? Hello? Yeah.
Alright, guys, so that's it. That's all the evidence we had for Bobby Mackey's. We had an interesting time out there, and it was just weird. Everything that happened that was around Bobby Mackey's or anything to do with Bobby Mackey's was weird, but that's nothing new for us, is it? It's time to stop blaming Bobby Mackey's.
It was definitely an experience worth having, going to Bobby Mackey's with all the just sheer publicity that place has.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool experience.
Ain't worth the hype. Don't pay that kind of money for it, though.
No. Not for
Go
the
read a
time
few
that
other
you get.
paranormal forums. Like, they're all saying the same thing we're saying, and we ain't lying.
It's just the time that you get for what you pay is not worth it. Like, we could have done so much more if we had more time, but it was just like, we felt rushed, and that kind of threw confusion into it, because we were like, what do we do? Because we only have like 3 hours left, because when they take you on the tour, that counts against your time.
Counts against your time.
So that we were just like, oh shit, like we didn't know that. We just like gotta like fumble around, but
And we went into it with really high expectations.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it earlier, Sam and I did that 45-minute tour going there previously, and we literally caught a full body apparition in a picture.
yeah,
And
that was disappointing that we couldn't reenact that.
Yeah, we were really hoping to reenact that there. We just didn't. We didn't get it.
Yeah, well, hopefully if you guys go there and you spend the money, you can catch more than we did, because
Just don't lean on any beams in the basement. That whole building's coming down on your ass.
it's held up by a tree.
It's held up by trees. Don't
Yeah.
lean on anything. Those trees are older.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it, guys. You saw the evidence. You heard the crazy stories. This has been a nightmare episode to get out, and I'm glad it's over. Hopefully.
It's gonna post after our
Fingers crossed.
before the aftermath for our next investigation. But
Yeah.
go ahead and check that one out before you watch the actual episode for our next investigation, because it's worth it.
It's confusing, but just go with it.
Yeah, it's confusing. Check out Before the Aftermath, Prospect Place Estate, before you watch Aftermath, Prospect Place Estate. Because that's next. We just got done filming it. So that's it for us, guys. I have no idea what the fuck we drank. It was exploding fruity beer.
Yeah, it was
we already
okay.
talked about it. Don't
It
buy
was
that.
exploding fruity
Yeah,
beer.
we had exploding fruity beer at the time that was filmed. And it was quite a catastrophe. It was quite a catastrophe. So check us out at Facebook.com/Division3AM. The whole team keeps up with that. Go check us out at Instagram.com/Division3AM. Erin keeps that up, and she keeps it nice and fresh all the time for you. She even throws in a little bit of produce sometimes. You can also check us out at threadless.division3am.com. Because we have merchandise now. We didn't even have merchandise before we filmed the Bobby Mackey's first part of the episode.
No, we didn't.
And now,
And then we're like,
we do. Go check it
We
out.
started it right afterward.
Yeah, we started it right afterwards. Now we have shirts and shit. And we're just
Erin
wearing them
has a
now.
hoodie, but she's...
It's too hot here.
It's hot as fuck in here.
It's really hot.
So we're going to end this episode like right now. I think that's all the websites. Go check us out on Spotify, iTunes, Anchor.fm, Stitcher, Google Play apps, all that shit. Every place that you find podcasts. We're fucking everywhere. We're in your fucking face. And we're in your house. We're in your ears. Whispering sweet nothings about, oh, ghosts and eat me, baby. And you know, that's the end of it all.
Every minute of it.
Every motherfucking minute.
I'm pretty sure they watch for the juicy.
Do watch for the juicy.
Yeah, you have to watch. I don't know. Yeah, you can watch for the juicy, because I'll get murdered if that anybody's watching for anybody else. I'm not allowed to have fans.
Oh my god.
Yes, he
She
is.
told me I'm not allowed to have
Don't
fans
let...
Can't watch
Yes,
for
he
the
is.
scary
Be a
Gary.
fan.
Can't
Gotta
watch.
go for the juicy
because Gary is
or
scared.
the spooky
That's why they
Or
call me
the
Scary Gary.
eerie.
or the eerie.
And that ends our show, guys, and that's because we don't have any beer left right now from that show. So invisible explodey beer. It's 3 a.m. somewhere.
3 a.m. somewhere.
Fuck.
Perfect.
It